Still in the spirit of Salah celebration, annually, the safety of Nigerians, irrespective of where they celebrate the festival, has always been a great concern to those saddled with the responsibility of protecting lives and property across board before and during the celebration. Ahead of the festival, security agencies assured Nigerians of their determination to play their role in securing the nation to ensure peaceful celebration. But how did it go with the area of road safety? How was the corps saddled with the responsibility of safeguarding the lives of the motoring public able to achieve its target for the season? These and more are the questions waiting for answers on Panorama today from the Lagos Network Center. I am Hinginu John Adams. You're welcome and Eid Mubarak. Thanks for being there. Wounded soldiers and officers of Operation Lafia Dole receiving treatment at the 7th Division Medical Services, Maiduguri, Borno State, celebrated the 2019 Eid al-Kabir in a grand style. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa captured some of the mood and moments for NTA News.
Sergeant Musa Abdullahi is among troops in a festive mood at the 7th Division Medical Center, Maiduguri. This is a gathering of soldiers and officers, devoid of the usual military regimentation. Here, it is the officers that are serving food to soldiers, marking the Salah celebration. To the representative of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuku Buratai,
celebrate with you.
This long-standing tradition is a way of honoring troops in the theater, fighting to secure Nigeria and Nigerians.
Our commitment to our collective peace and security, as well as the stability of Nigeria, remains resolute and unshaken.
Though wounded, they are not deterred as they express their determination to return to the battlefield.
The way I'm seeing things were going smoothly, the operation is going smoothly now. By God's grace, by before next year, Boko Haram is going to turn to a story by God's grace.
And my family, they're doing fine. I even called them, I greeted them, and they celebrate Salah very fine.
We want to have our feet on so that we can go back to the theater of operation.
Our camera lens also captured patients at the recreational and physiotherapy center, recovering and hoping the counter-insurgency ends soon. From Maiduguri, Borno State, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, has advised officers and men of the Nigerian Air Force not to be distracted by fake news on the social media. The Chief of the Air Staff gave the advice in Yola at a Salah lunch organized in honor of officers and men of 153 Base Service Group of the Nigerian Air Force. Simon Asha reports.
It has been a tradition by the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar, especially during festivities, to dine and wine with officers and men of the Nigerian Air Force who could not celebrate the occasion with their families due to their relentless effort in safeguarding the nation. What informed his visit to 153 Base Service Group Yola was to make merry with the officers in line of duty, thereby giving them a sense of belonging.
Yes, it is true other challenges have emerged, such as banditry, but even the banditry, we are making substantial progress. And I think that is why I felt that it's necessary for us to take time out to come and encourage our officers and men here.
Governor Ahmadu Umar Fintiri of Adamawa State, among other dignitaries, also stood to be counted in the Eid al-Kabir Salah celebration with the officers.
From the year 2020, whether you are a citizen or an indigent or non-indigent in Adamawa State, so long as you are schooling here, we will make sure we pay your NECO and WIAC fees.
The Chief of Air Staff has since left Yola for other engagements in the country. In Yola, Simon Asha, NTA News.
And activities commemorating Eid al-Kabir on the Feast of Sacrifices continues across the country. President Alpha Condé of the Republic of Guinea has been conferred with the traditional title of Talban Daura in Katsina State. The Emir of Daura, Umar Farouk Umar, performed the turbaning ceremony on the visiting leader.
The turbaning ceremony took place at Padra Hausa in the Emir's palace. It was carried out by the two kingmakers of the emirate under the supervision of Alhaji Umar Farouk Umar, the Emir of Daura. The Guinean President Alpha Condé pledged to give all necessary support towards promoting the culture of Nigeria. The new traditional title holder, Talban Daura, commended President Muhammadu Buhari for his commitment towards uplifting social living of Nigerian youths and women. Emir of Daura, Alhaji Umar Farouk Umar, said Daura Emirate Council decided to honor the celebrant on the ground of his good relationship with Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari, represented by Katsina State Governor Aminu Bello Masari at the venue of the event, said the Talban Daura title is an honor not only to President Alpha Condé but to the Nigerian president, and urges Nigerians to always preserve their cultures.
Most of their culture and traditions were destroyed, and our own have been preserved over time. And you could hear when he was advising and hoping that we will continue to maintain the culture and the tradition of our people.
Wife of Lagos State Governor Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu has underscored the need for Nigerians to embrace togetherness and mutual cooperation, saying such remains critical to engender peace and prosperity for the nation. This was the message of the wife of the governor at a special Eid al-Kabir celebration held at Lagos State Government House, Alausa, Ikeja. Nosa Osula reports.
Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu said Nigerians must draw lessons from the significance of the festive season to always uphold peace, help the needy, and have abiding faith in God.
The sacrifice is not only confined to our wealth and cattle, but it involves everything, including our lives. The day of sacrifice is not merely a celebration, but a great occasion to tender change and seek salvation. We cannot please Allah by sacrificing an animal. He is pleased with the spirit of submission. He is pleased with our obedience. He is pleased with our hospitality. He is pleased with our self-giving.
Dignitaries at the event comments.
Appeal to all of us to go on our knees and pray to God, for peace in this country.
We therefore call for peace among the Muslims and the Christians of the world. Muslims and Christians in Nigeria in particular should see themselves as brothers and sisters.
We all need to come together in love, celebrating all that God has given us and appreciating it.
Muslim faithful were also urged to eschew all traits of disobedience to God. In Lagos, Nosa Osula, NTA News.
And as part of activities to mark Eid al-Kabir celebration, Lagos residents trooped to recreation centers in the metropolis to catch fun. Michael Olaile, who visited one of such parks, reports that the environment was adequately secured against any security threat.
It was a moment to unwind and relax as fun seekers took the advantage of the public holiday to socialize out of fear of being attacked by hoodlums.
I feel excited, wonderful, fantastic. I can't even explain. It's so much fun.
I enjoy swinging and the one there. I've done the swing, done the bazookas too. Done everything, yeah.
It has been a worthwhile experience and I can see that they are all having fun. And even when we say, let's start going home, they say they don't want to go.
They say all work, no play, make Jack a dull boy. So it has been all while working day. So this is the only time to relax, and this is the only time I have to be with my family.
Wisdom Ogiye, a face painter, seized the occasion to make bricks business.
Actually, for the parents, they should try to engage their children in skills. They should take them out to learn defense like tailoring, all those stuff, so they'll be able to make money for themselves when they are investors.
As the fund seekers, who are both Muslims and Christians, coexist peacefully at this park, they however urge Nigerians to unite, describing it as the only way to ensuring the growth of the nation. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NTA News.
You're still watching Panorama from the Lagos Network Center. We now pause for a break. The program continues shortly.
People get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous. Whether you do it for fun or for political gains, real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA. Slavery is an evil practice abolished all over the world over 200 years ago. But today, human traffickers are selling human beings as slaves in Africa. It is your responsibility to make sure that you and the people you know do not fall into slavery. Don't believe fake promises of jobs abroad.
People went to say Libya, Italy no use you when they carry me on top water. 4 days now they lock me for inside house, no food, no water. I nearly die. Now God, when me heaven and earth, now save me. If you get 1 naira for Nigeria, you get junior one, you say you no get papa, you no get mama, now make you come out. I beg go they do farm work. You better pass person when enter road.
Don't accept to travel to Europe through the Sahara Desert. You may be walking into slavery. Don't be a slave.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Thanks for staying with us. And just before the studio discussion, let's hear from Paul Omukago on the situation of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway before the Eid al-Kabir celebration.
Few months back, getting access to this place was pretty difficult because of the construction that was ongoing on this part of the road between Magboro and Mountain of Fire. However, with the completion of this part, the contractor is focusing more on excavation to open up drains and construction of culverts.
The reduced travel time on the 127.6 kilometers road has been attributed to dismantling of diversion points where construction has been completed. Another reason is the shifting of reconstruction on the Kara Bridge section of Lagos-Shagamu axis from August to September 2, 2019.
Traffic is better now, as you can see. The whole cars are moving on fine with the demarcation they have. And in terms of quality, I give it to them too. So we will just exercise patience and bear with them.
On my way coming now, there is no much traffic. Apart from maybe people stopping over at Kapasi, going into camp, and Ibafu, where we have some commercials dropping passenger and carrying passenger. So that is where we've been experiencing some little bit of traffic.
The work is really going on and it's very, very impressive. Since I have been coming now, I didn't see traffic, we are free. So we move, there's no traffic, no hold up, unlike before.
We are always carried around along each time they want to walk on any section of the road. This axis that Julius Berger is handling. And we have been managing the traffic. Now we are at a very critical section, which is this Kara axis of the Lagos-Ibadan Express Road, because this is like the neck of the whole road.
With the contractor carrying out preliminary work on the area earmarked for massive construction in September, What are the alternative routes?
We are going to divide the inbound, that is inbound to Shagamu, inbound to Ibadan. We are going to do it in such a way that I can take two lanes out of Lagos and then 2 lanes into Shagamu. So that is just the whole idea. So it's not as if you are shutting down the road entirely. It's just a diversion.
The Lagos-Ibadan Expressway was inaugurated in August 1978, with the immediate past president flagging off the reconstruction and expansion of the road following a number of failed sections. In Lagos, Paul Umukago, NTA News.
We've seen the situation in that report by Paul Omukagu. Now joining us live in the studio is Hygienist Omeje, Lagos State Sector Commander, Federal Road Safety. You're welcome on the program.
Thank you very much.
Before the Salah Festival, there was this fear that motorists plying traffic-prone roads like the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, Lagos-Badagry Expressway will be trapped in traffic. What was the situation then, and what is the situation now that holiday makers are coming back?
Well, I think the only change in the situation with the report you just saw is that now that people are coming back, the traffic is now more of inward Lagos rather than outward Lagos. As of Friday, Saturday, we had so much traffic outward of Lagos, especially within the wee hours of the day, between the hours of 6 a.m., 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, we had so much traffic going out. Now, but there was never at a time when anybody was stuck in one particular place for any reason. Even the areas where the construction work is still ongoing, such as Ibafon and within the capacity section of it. I mean, our personnel and all other services who complemented our efforts, the military also. Vehicle. The moment it was removed, we cleared the backlog and there was no major issue. Now, today is very critical to us also. As I was coming, I came from Lagos Ibadan Express Road. We already seen, influx of traffic inwards. It will get peak, at its peak around 2, 3, but then there's no cause for alarm.
Okay, from what you're saying, obviously there is an improvement compared to previous years, despite the construction work.
Definitely.
So what strategies did you use to record this success?
It's all about understanding the road network, then proper deployment. What we did was to shut down all our operations within the metropolis, within the city center, and now moved all our personnel to that axis and other axis, not just there. Lekki is also another critical route that caught our attention because of the volume of traffic, people going for picnic and all those things during this festive period. So it was all about adequate deployment, being at the right place at the right time. We have also noticed over the years that if you need to curb up traffic gridlock, just be there before it starts building up. Once you are there before it starts building up and traffic meets you there will not be any problem. But if you are not there and traffic has started building up, by the time you come there, it will take you a couple of hours before you can flush it out. So we were strategically positioned. And we also carried out a lot of sensitization campaign before people traveled. And I think these are all the factors that contributed. Plus the fact that a greater portion of that section of the Lagos Ibadan has been expanded now, and the driving surface is better than what it used to be. So I think that was also very, very germane in the success of the whole thing.
Okay, now talking about road crashes.
Yep.
Comparing statistics from May 2018 till date, will you say that road crashes are on the increase or decrease?
Well, it's trending down. It's trending down quite all right with the road networks improving. We have never shied away from the fact that the bad roads are also part of the problem. But then it also has its own side effect. Now that the roads are good, what we are now battling with is the issue of excessive speeding and speed violations. People moving above 100 kilometers per hour simply because the whole road is now okay. Taking a cue of this Salah celebration, between 9th that we started our special operations, we recorded 2 fatal crashes, and it was just the case of one person dying on each of those. One was at Lekki Express Road, while one was at Lagos Ibadan Express Road, and others were just serious crashes that did not involve life, but then people sustained various degrees of injuries. So we're seeing a trending down, but we're not yet there in terms of, if you look at the overall statistics. You don't just use this period alone to just make inferences and say all is well yet. No. Overall, if you look at overall, we are not yet there. There is still need for more concerted effort on the part of every stakeholder to ensure that we bring down the fatality rate on our roads.
Okay, still talking about crashes. We know that slow response to distress calls is a major cause of avoidable deaths during road crashes. Yeah. What are you doing differently in Lagos to ensure that this does not occur?
What we have done over the period of time was identify these critical crash-prone areas and see how we can now position our ambulance operatives at those critical areas. For example, in OPIC, we will always see an ambulance. When you get to Mowe, you will always see an ambulance. By the time you get to Shagamu, you will see an ambulance. On getting to us Ibadan by Ogumake, you will also see an ambulance. So with those ambulance points positioned like that, we've been able to increase our response time. And like you said, yes, response time is very key to saving lives. And that is what we have been doing. A great thing is also prompt removal of obstructions, such that before the people suffocate inside the hole, you already there. And to that effect, we have gotten more tow trucks, which we also position at these strategic areas. If you get to a peak at any point in time, you'll always see an ambulance and a tow truck. The same thing with Mowe, and of course, getting down to Ogumake, we have one tow truck there too, courtesy of private sector participation. So these are all issues that have helped us. Then over a period, we also looked at our operatives, their skill in terms of first aid and casualty handling, and we have been through some non-governmental organizations that have been partnering with us, educating these people on how to properly and professionally handle crash victims.
Okay, Mr. Omeje, thank you. But before I let you go, what is your call to the general public?
Well, my call to the general motoring public is that road safety is a collective business. We are all stakeholders in the road safety project. We expect maximum cooperation from the motoring publics by way of compliance to lay down rules and regulations. Do not overspeed, no matter that. Don't mind the fact that the road network is now getting better. Don't overspeed. Don't also overload your vehicle, and shun use of food while driving.
All right. Thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you very much.
Moving on now to sports. Nigeria's Haruna Okojo retains his title at the 2019 ITTF Challenge Nigeria Open in Lagos to equal Omar Assar of Egypt record. Olumide Oguntola is our guide on sports update.